Welcome everyone. Today we have a very exciting Dota autochess Undead build. So let's have a look at the demonstration of this build and look at its powers. So at the start I'm getting silenced and my units getting swarmed. But guess what? As Undead, you have so much capacity for damage and also your minions gets revived and you are super strong in the ultra late game. So this build is gonna be one of the hardest but one of the most powerful build in Dota autochess. And I'll try to explain to you guys how to build this one. So I have prepared two replays for you guys. One is a winning streak replay, one is a losing streak replay. Now, do keep in mind, if you're playing losing streak with Undead, it is extremely difficult. So why do I say this build is a very difficult build? Is that not only you have to find the right tier 2 item in round 3, you also have to keep winning. Unless you win, your tier 2 item will not work. So I'm going to fast forward to round 3 over here. Round 3, after defeating the neutral monsters, you can see there is the ascetic cap. You need this item on round 3, otherwise it's too late by round 10 or later. So you want to get this item as quickly as you can. What does this item do is that if you put this on a unit or on a minion, once you win the round and this unit stays alive, then if this unit is less or equal to 5 levels, this one will turn into an undead unit. There is a specific combination how this works. You can go with 1-star unit from the tier 1 unit to tier 5 unit. You can also have 2-star units all the way to tier 3 units. So a tier 3 unit, let's say if you have something like Train Protector that is 2-star, you can still use the ascetic cap. And this is a hidden method to make the build cheaper and also work in the mid game, which I'll teach you guys. So now that you found the ascetic cap, the next thing you want to do is you want to start prioritizing on giving this to a unit that can survive the fights and then start building your undead minions. Each time you win the round, the unit that has the cap will die and turn into something green. You make sure you have a space on the bench so that next round, this unit will become a rendered undead unit. There's a number of rendered undead units for each of the tiers. So here I'm going to render the monthly into something else. And yes, we're going to be offensive. So we're definitely going to take Rapier because we want to win every round whenever we can. So you can see I got a Monitor, which is Undead Hunter. And this is how the build starts. So why do I recommend looking into this build is currently with the latest patch change, this is now a Priest patch. A lot of players are running Priest, and this means they're not very aggressive for the first 15 rounds. And you can take advantage of this and start to play Undead. Now, it is possible that you face a lot of aggressive players that is not running Priest, which I'll show you guys what to do on the second part as a brief demonstration of what happens when you start to lose with this build, which is a little more difficult. So each of the round, notice I'm giving my ascetic cap to whether the highest tier unit, or I'm giving the cap to something that can survive. And over here, I'm always trying to benefit my units and giving them the most survivability and also most defense on the unit with the cap. You can also reposition your units so that the unit with the cap is protected. During this time, I'm actively keeping jeweled units. Because 2-star jeweled units is easier to fuse with only 2 of them, and this can use the ascetic cap to great effectiveness. So a 2-star enchantress, 2-star Prophet or 2-star Train Protector, which can go with ascetic cap, is super powerful. You can see I'm slowly getting my undead units. The first little power spike is when you have 3 undead units. After that, I try to go with 3 hunters wherever I can. Any basic synergy like orcs or something like warriors is also great. And here notice I really went aggressive. I actively leveled to level 6, which normally most people don't do this, but this allows me to keep winning and then get even more undead units. I'm also going to buy the Train Protector, and I'll show you guys what happens with Enchantress as well. So getting the gold from winning, the home away battles, I bought the Train Protector, and now I can fuse the Enchantress, and I keep the Train Protector for future use. So I'll be giving the ascetic cap to the Enchantress, and if the Enchantress survives the fight, which unfortunately Enchantress got killed by the Tinker with rockets, which is very sad for me. There's so many units, and she got 2-shotted. I was like, what? Yes, you saw the Enchantress, she got multicasted. So Again, we're looking for high tier units or 2-star units now. So 2-star Enchantress, 2-star Train Protector, 2-star Axe is great. We're just trying to get a variety of undead unit. You want to assemble at least 6 different undead units for the mid-game. Because undead units will reduce the enemy's health by 10% and 40%, so you're basically halving the health. And this is so powerful because once you halve the health, well, you'll do more damage, right? Because it dies super fast with lower health. So Undead is one of the best build in the Ultra late game because of the flexibility and also its abilities. So look at this, I got a Winter Wyvern, we also got a Panda. I like to position my Winter Wyvern in the forward so it gets damage and then it casts the Arctic Protection. I forgot the name of that. So I'm always trying to have a Panda down because having a Panda means you have chance of getting Undead units you don't have, and there's a high chance of getting Legendary Undead. I have had a game which I found a Legendary Wolf King on the 4th round, while the game went very smooth after that, as you would imagine. So I'm giving Athletic Cap to purple units now, so which will give me some very powerful units in the mid game. And of course, because I have been winning, getting the double on give us a lot of gold, you want to level as much as you can for this build, and whenever possible, once you get to 6 undead, this is your first power spike. Always looking for purple units, and this will allow you to get the strongest undead as you assemble them into 2 stars. There's about 3 different undead units for each of the tiers, so tier 1, tier 2, and here I'm trying to fuse the Dragon Knight into something useful and hopefully get my 6th undead unit. Always give the items the units you want to survive. You can also trap this unit in a corner, but I'm not doing this at the moment because, well, I think my units are strong enough to do this. I'm really looking for a 2-star or 1-star Pudge, which is actually very powerful with pure damage and also relocate enemies. So let's have a look at the fights. If you look closely, you can see a majority of the players are running losing streak. So there is, how many? There's 4 players running losing streak, and they all have priest. And this is a great for me, because I get to face a lot of players that is weak that guarantees me to summon undead unit. And, well, this is one of the biggest advantage for this build and this patch, because if you play undead and everyone's trying to lose, well, you can win. Isn't that great, right? So, over here, nothing too special. We just try to save our gold to level. It is always the best way to get to level 7, level 8, level 9 as fast as you can while maintaining economy. I have also changed my lineup and also my units, and to protect the unit, I want to turn into undead. During this time, there's nothing too fancy. Having the Panda down is just a bonus. If I had the additional undead unit, I would have put it in, but I was a little unfortunate. I've gotten duplicates of Lich and also Martyr, so that is not great. Only 5 different undead units. So usually at level 7, if I can get 6 undead units, that is the biggest power spike. Around this time, Abaddon is actually really powerful, and if you can find Pudge, Abaddon, and Undying, well, the game gets much easier. So, really hoping that my Lycan survives. Due to the good positioning of Lycan, he managed to survive, surprisingly. Yes, this thing killed everybody except Lycan. And we turn Lycan into something useful. So, Lycan, okay, where did Lycan go? So, over here we found a lot of jewels. Lycan was turned into another Draw Ranger, which was not good. But we found 2 jewels. Look at this. So the 2-star jewel that gets fused very easily is one of your biggest power spike. Because the Train Protector once is 2-star, it is still a level 5 unit. And this is the secret method of playing Undead, is that once you get your 2-star jewels, then you give them the static cap, and once you win the fight, which we happen to win because a lot of people are running priest, the Train Protector will die, and in return, next round, the Train Protector will be summoned into a 2-star undead unit, and that is the 2-star Pudge. Very, very powerful. I'll do the same to the Train Protector. I'll do the same to the Nature's Prophet, and you can see after the round, Nature's Prophet dies, and then Nature's Prophet comes back as one of the undead unit. You do want to go with Ascendancy, notice that. Unfortunately, I keep getting duplicates, but we already found 6 undead, and this is our biggest power spike. Enemy units are halved with health, and now you can really benefit from just killing them very fast. During this time, I'm trying to get my second Moiter by putting down the Wind Ranger, and the fight is very easy. You just pick and choose your units, and notice I found another Furin. I did find a Vision for Spirit, which is ultra important for the late game. Whenever you can, you want at least one tier 2 Venture for Spirit, or 1-star Venture for Spirit is enough, because you can make into the Harpy synergy, and that is very good for the late game, because Venture for Spirit is also undead, Venture for Spirit is also a Harpy. 2 Harpies is great, 4 Harpies may be a little too much. You can see I'm always having to pin that down, try to get new undead units. And now we have 6 different undead. And the unit I want to change into undead to survive is always in the corner. Lich during this time together with Patch is incredibly powerful. And your goal is to just get units to survive and then try to go as high level as you can. And yes, Lucky Fish on the Panda is great to get new units which can be legendary undead that you don't have. Managing your economy and also going to level 8, then level 9 as quickly as you can. Around this time, if you're lucky to find a legendary, then that is really good. But if you don't find legendaries, finding a purple unit is also great to get your Nyx, to get your Death Prophet, and also to get your Lich to 2-star. So I'm going to fast forward a little bit. You can see I found a Lich to 2-star, and I'll be doing this. And sometimes, if you don't see any purple units, I might opt for rolling once or twice just to get a purple unit. If I could get a legendary around this time, that is amazing, but we're not that lucky. So fast forwarding a little bit, nothing too fancy, we're just reviving undead units, and we're winning because we have been winning a lot. Our economy and units are very powerful. So once you get 6 undead and once you get the 2-star purple units, you really start to smooth sail into the mid game, and you're guaranteed top 4 plays pretty much every game, which is great. So we're still doing the same. I'm going to go with Alchemist, neutral round, Alchemist converts, and then we got 2-star Nyx. Very nice. Nyx is not the strongest, but it is great to distract enemies. So around this time, I kind of want to look for legendaries. So next round, I'll try to go to level 9 and start rolling for legendaries. We don't care what legendaries we find. We'll turn them into undead units, and then this becomes super strong. And during this time, our Lich is very powerful. Look at this. We found a Jarrow. I was going to use the 2-star Treant Protector, and as I was rolling, I found Jarrow. And yes, my additional gold is always used to roll into legendary units and giving the aesthetic tag to them. Very powerful. Now, during this time, I do not recommend infusing Lone Druid, because if you fuse Lone Druid, I don't think you can get a 2-star undead unit, because Lone Druid will be level 6. If it is level 6, you can't turn that into undead. So the highest one you can fuse is a 2-star tier 3 unit like 2-star Treant Protector. And here I need the Jarrow to survive. If Jarrow survives, well, it's going to be a new undead unit. Can Jarrow survive? No. Sometimes it's a little luck based. No matter how much I have been winning, the unit you need to survive has to survive the home battle. And this is why I say this is the most difficult setup. And now I just want to show you guys this. So I didn't get undead unit, but the panda gave me a free specter. Look at that. The reason I'll be keeping pandas is because of this. You get new undead units that you don't have. High chance of getting a legendary unit like Spectre, which will greatly enhance the power of the battles. And yes, even though I'm super strong, sometimes your legendary unit just doesn't survive, and this really delays your build. Ideally, you want to get 2-star legendaries. The Spectre, Necrophos, and also Worth King are really powerful in the late game in their own builds. So second round with my Gyrocopter. And of course, I want Jarrow to survive. And having Spectre is very powerful. Spectre is a variety utility unit that can deal tons of damage if enemies are spread. It also has summons that cannot distract enemies. So all in all, Spectre is a massive power spike. Together with Wolf King, a lot of units will survive for a long time. Notice here, I don't have enough units on the bench, so I have to sell 1 unit so there's enough slots on the bench so a new legendary can arrive. Very important to do this. Same way, if your panda is calling for another unit, you have to make a spot. You can do this at the start of the run, but for undead units, you have to do this fast. So, over here, I waited for the Necrophos to arrive, and then I'm going to make space for the Gyrocopter, and then we'll put a new Gyrocopter, and we rinse and repeat. Let's fast forward a little bit. So, you pretty much know how we play the undead, and here we're getting additional gold, we're getting the stuff going, and yes, I found Wrath King. Wrath King is great because it will revive your undead units, and I only need 6 undead. I do not recommend you go with 9 Undead. The synergy is super weak. The life loss is not even noticeable, and it is just not good. So what I'm doing now is I'm actually looking for dragon units. In order to play one of the strongest Undead build, it is ideal to have the Jakiro, the 5-star dragon that is available. But if you can't find Jakiro, it is okay to also go with Dragon Knight, because you naturally will find Winter Wyvern. Hopefully you find Winter Wyvern. Once that Winter Wyvern is good, because Winter Wyvern is a dragon and also undead, you just need 3 more dragons together with Wizard to make the synergy work. And once you have 5 dragons, well, spells gets cast instantly. You know how powerful dragon mages are, and this is a dragon undead. And we can also be a mage. So if you look at the board, notice that I'm keeping my wizards, my dragons, and also undead unit. I'm also pushing for high levels. And of course, picking up some legendaries will help me to get additional gold, simply because, you know, there are new legendaries that are discovered, and even the old legendaries, that's okay. Just be a little careful with overflooding your board. I'm having too many good units. So I did sell the cards over here, and this may be a mistake I'll regret in the future. And I already found all my undead legendaries, so I no longer need the panda, and also I need extra space. So now we have 3 dragons with undead. Gets even better, trust me. So the units, item choices, you really want 3-star Spell Prison for your Lich and also for your Necrophos. And that's the best item for undead because you have multi-target selection. After that, you're looking for purple items like Refresher, purple items that like Dagon is good, and any purple item is actually great on undead. You can make use of so many items. Offensive attacking item goes to the Spectre. Defensive item goes to the Wrath King, and spellcasting mana gain can go onto the Necrophos or the Lich. And you can see we're gonna keep going undead and get the lineup going. Now, you might have noticed I have not really lost a fight, simply because this is a win streak undead. Once you get the win streak undead going, you become super powerful. To the point that I can skip a lot and you guys can go back to the replays to see what is happening. It's just really fun to play once you get the snowball rolling. You're one of the strongest snowball build in the game, and it gets better if you plan ahead. Notice I'm keeping my Vengeful Spirit in order to go for Harpies, which I made a small mistake I'll teach you guys later to avoid it. I'm also keeping all my dragons to go with Dragon Undead. I like to go with Dragon Undead because this gives you an instant cast. And it is incredibly powerful to get your Spectres, Necrophos, Lich to instant cast and just annihilate the fight. And this is even before I get going. There's so many units that are summoned, and Wrath King ensures you have a second chance. When they die, they will get revived. So let's fast forward a little bit. The hardest part was actually the first 20 rounds. This is why I say this is the hardest and also the strongest build. Now, it is possible, very highly likely, you don't win all the time. And I'll show you guys second to this how to fight as undead when you start to lose and you don't win in the early game. Now, over here I did face a very strong cast build. We do have a video on cast build if you want to have a look. Cast build is very powerful and I'm definitely checking it out. It is very almost matched my undead build. Even at this stage it defeated me. I was like, whoa, that is a strong cast build. So fast forwarding a little bit, that was actually my first loss in the entire game. And here this is a very powerful Blink Gyrocopter build. But guess what? Once my units cast, the Gyrocopter melted within seconds. Because his HP is half by the undead, he only have about 1000 HP. And our units really deal like 1000 damage within a second. So once he can't one-shot us, even if he one-shotted us, we'll revive and then take him out. I'm really looking for my second Wrath King. If I find it, I'll be golden. There you go, second Wrath King. So now I just need a 2-star Necrophos and we have completed the build. The next biggest milestone to complete the Undead synergy is to go to level 11, even level 12. The more levels you get, the better synergies you get. Well, it is true, right? But you can get dragons, you can get harpies, you can get mages, you can get anything you wanted with Undead build. And yeah, sounds like I'm really selling the build, but it is incredible. Change my units a little bit to avoid the stealth cloud, but the 3-star Ricky with the cast build is incredible. So here, we'll manage to take him out. I will manage to defeat him. Just because having 2-star Wrath King, my units revives. Now the scary part is Kaz. So notice here I defeated most of his units. That Kaz almost had my whole team. So what I'm doing now is I'm saving my gold and also biding my time for round 35. This is a round you can unlock level 11 for the higher levels, and this is my biggest focus. I'm even positioning my units away from the smoke cloud so they get instant casting because I have 3 dragons. And over here we're facing another strong gyrocopter build, but it's okay. It can't kill us twice and we pretty much one-shotted. Everything melts within seconds against Undead. Notice I'm always making a space for my units to come back onto the bench if I win the fight. If I don't win the fight, there's no need to sell my units, right? I'm also paying close attention to see how enemies are defeating me and if there's ways I can adjust my build. And yes, guys, I defined my second Necrophos. So we have a 2-star Necrophos and I unlocked level 11. I have been saving a lot of gold, as you can see. This really shows that planning ahead helps you with undead planning, especially when you're winning a lot. You're always one step ahead of other players. One item I've noticed over here is going to be the Spell Prison. Spell Prison is incredibly powerful on both Lich and also Necrophos. This allows the single target spell to become +1, and it is incredible when Necrophos can one-shot 2 units at a time, especially with dragons. So over here I'm still trying to get my units because I'm a little greedy. And let's have a look. Only 3 players left, and here we're facing the dragon, and I decided to get Guardian Graves just so we can get a little more durability, because I realized we're getting smoke cloud by the Ricky. Having another 2-star Wolf King isn't doing me great justice. So what I'm doing now is I'm trying to get all my units done and get my Undead 5 Dragon synergy going. Now I did make a small mistake over here. I have 1 extra Undead, which I could have used instead of Vengeful Spirit. I can use something else. A 2-star Pudge, 2-star Nyx, even 1-star Wolf King is better here. I also try to spread out a little bit against Ricky. Let's see what happens. So why do I have the Vengeful Spirit? Is for the later game, I want to get additional unit for the Harpy. So what I could have done is, I could have removed another Undead unit and try to get the Harpy going. And 2 Harpies with Lich and Necrophos is the ultimate late game. The Ricky cloud is incredible with 3-star Ricky, so it's so broken that it covers my entire board, and spreading out was actually not the best way to go, as you can see. Yeah, the cast is incredible, and he has some really perfect item selection against me. So his cards have Lincoln Sphere, and Lincoln Sphere is perfect to counter my Necrophos, because Necrophos spells will get cancelled. So I'm going to try to reposition, have my Wolf King in the middle, and try to have Wolf King reviving the team once we get killed. And of course, this time we didn't face the Kaz build. This time we faced something else. But I'm looking over here to see what happens against the Kaz build, and if my units can survive the ultra late game. Yeah, look at this Kaz. It is so incredible. I realize my Necrophos is doing nothing against the Kaz. So much that I need to change the item selection. I know it's a little silly. So I can't really roll for new units now, so all my items are pretty selected to just go with something better. And yes, I do have Monitor Horn. Monitor Horn is not great anymore because I have 5 dragons, so I'm going to reroll out of Monitor Horn into something better very soon. Let's have a look at the fight. So against the Ricky Cloud, this time I give Lich the Spell Prison, so Lich will have 2 Chain balls, so double Chain balls, and hopefully the Chain ball bounces on the Kaz and take him out. But the Kaz is incredible. When I play the Kaz build, it looks great on the Rampage, but when I go against the Kaz build, oof, it's so strong. And the Mentor Style, yes, Mentor Style is one of the strongest items on single carries. Now we did take out the final player, so it is 1 versus 1. Usually for most build does not survive at this stage against Undead. His build only survived because he have 3-star Ricky, keep that in mind. The Kaz is not the game changer unless he have 3-star Ricky. This delays my whole team's spellcasting by 3.5 seconds, and by that time half of my units are already dead. And even though we have Revive, this only gives us another chance. If I don't have Undead Revive, I can't even make it after 4 seconds, right? So having Undead Revive is actually a big game changer. Let's have a look at the fights. This is why I said Undead are one of the strongest late game units. I changed my units around a little bit, so Lich and things are in the corner, they get instant casting, that they don't get smoke cloud too badly, I'm hoping. Look at those Lich balls. Lich balls are better because they don't get cancelled like the Necrophos spells as badly. And what happened to stabilize? Neutral round, not much of a challenge. Both builds just destroy neutral rounds. Item selection. So here, nothing too fancy. I just want more gold to go to level 12 and then even further. So here I made the mistake. I have been keeping my Vengeful Spirit, and here I was thinking that maybe we can go with 6 mages. This maybe will make us stronger. One of the biggest power spike for my current build is actually finding the second Harpy. If I find second Harpy, everything goes crazy bonkers, and you will see once we find it. So we also found Assault Carrots. Spectre with any offensive item, defensive item is great. So Spectre over here will get instant summon, and then the Assault Carriers, the armor reduction from Desolator will just go around and get everyone. Now, on the opposite side, the enemy is very strong. We just group up in a ball, so whatever dies, Wolf King revives them, and this fight continues. And yes, you're witnessing one card soloing my entire team over here. Almost. It's got so many IOs. So, I'm gonna fast forward a little bit because we're just going back and forth. And he's strong enough that due to RNG and due to like the fights, we're not really taking out each other. So, I don't want to drag you guys too long, but you can watch the replays to see what happens. The choice of weapon selection, or item selection, and also positioning. And yes, I start to defeat him a little bit more, but due to RNG, he also defeats me. So it is a stalemate. After round 45, the stalemate really gets shortened because your life gets halved every round. And I have been changing my items a little bit, giving most of the good items to Spectre, because I realized if Spectre survives, we can win the fight. Now, during this time, something funny happened. So, if you look at the chat, I do believe one player stayed in the game, the TK player, and he's been chatting with other player, and I don't really understand what he was telling him. I think he was giving him good recommendations. Then all of a sudden he said Harpy good. And I realized my whole game plan was finding Harpy, and I couldn't find the last Harpy. I realized I didn't have the Harpy done. But let's have a look what happens if I do find the Harpy, which should have done a long time ago. You can do this even before 5 dragons. So having 2 Harpy is massive, because 2 Harpy means there's double balls coming from Lich, there is triple Necrophos ultimate because of the spell prison, and it is incredible. Let's have a look at the fight. So over here, we'll be looking at my units. Yes, I also have the Gladiator, which roots them in place, and that is very important. If I can root them in place, they can't jump, then Ricky Claw disappears, then we have a better chance of taking him down. Because I even said GG, and he said GG, and then the cast is like, it's not GG, bro. The cast is literally fighting my whole team, and I was like, wow. So yes, I thought I had him. He thought he lost too. I was like, wow, this cast is so powerful. And yes, finally, I think the nail on the coffin will be a 2-sided hero. Notice my units are all in the corner and grouped together to avoid him like face rushing me at the very start of the fight. So, repositioning a little bit, and notice the Vengeful Spirit is just a bait on the other side. With the 2 Harpies, there's so much craziness that's going around. Let's have a look at the fight on his side. His units got rooted, we wait for the smoke cloud. If a unit dies, they will get revived by the Wolf King, and then the Rapier comes and then kills most of his units. So this is when the single cast was not enough because of Necrophos. And now we have the game. Very, very intense game, all the way to round 47. And I'm glad this shows us the potential for Undead build. So what's happening with Undead build is over here. Let's have a look. We have 6 Undead, which is great to have the HP. We can go with 3 dragons, very easy to find with 3 dragons, and then I'm recommending go with Harpies. So it's essential to have your Vengeful Spirit, your Winter Wyvern, and then all the legendary Undead like Spectre, like the Wolf King, Necrophos, and also Lich. And then finding the wizards together with your 5 dragons pretty much nails the game. Now, you don't need to go with 6 mages. This is only because I was able to get level 13. But 6 mages is also broken. You can have the best things in the game, and this shows you how strong this build can be. So I also mentioned I'll show you guys an undead build that is not that I'm winning all the time. So this is another game that I'll just show you guys. I won't go through too much, but let's see what happens when you don't win all the time. So round 3, I found the ascetic cap, but guess what happens? Every round after that, I try to win, but I can't. To the point that I can't find 2-star units, I know I just can't win, so I'm actually going to start a losing streak. And yes, someone did find the only knight in round 5. I was like, what? And let's have a look over here. So I've been running a losing streak. So if you can't win with undead, you have to run a losing streak. Having priest really helps, but other than that, you just have to accept the fact that it's not gonna be easy. I'm still kind of guy with only knight. So fast forwarding a little bit to round 10, because I know I can guarantee win the neutral round. So the neutral round is the only round that I can win as undead. That is pretty sad, but that's what happens. So we win the neutral round, and then I get my first undead unit. So what is the game plan now is to wait for round 15 to make more undead unit. Our gameplay is extremely delayed. We'll still keep the druids, we'll still keep the units, but now notice that playing undead is I'm playing on the back foot, but I do have great economy. My goal is to get to round 15, get the Ascension passive, then I'm going to look for the legendary units to have the biggest power spike. So let's fast forward to round 15. I think not much to watch because I'm literally losing non-stop. I did find some druids. Finding some druids helped me stabilize the mid game, and here I'll show you guys over here. I had a 2-star Train Protector. The 2-star Train Protector was supposed to give me a tier 2 punch, I'm hoping, and guess what? It gave me a second Draw Ranger, which is the worst roll ever. Sometimes you roll into the wrong undead units, and this really delays your build, and that's what happened on this game. So 2 Draw Rangers, and yes, I'm positioning my units in the corner. We're still running priest because that is the best way to survive. Now, I'm gonna fast forward a little further. You can see I'm really trying to squeeze any unit alive, try to get my purple units and try to get it going. So here, the Dragon Knight, and here we find my Lone Druid, my Train Protector. I found my first Lich. So very delayed start. Unlike the previous win streak build, over here with losing streak, things doesn't get that much easier. But you're still trying. You try to find purple units after round 15 to go for undead higher tier units. I've given up in finding tier 3 undead units, and what I'm doing now is I just want purple units to tier 2 or 2 stars, and then finding legendaries. And notice this, I rushed to level 9 so I can find some legendaries. This is already in the back foot. Second Lich is not bad. Putting down Husker, so we're just trying to get my 6 undead. I have not found the 6 undead, and this shows how weak and how difficult the build can be if you're not winning, which is very hard. First legendary, which is good. So fast forward a little bit, you can see that I happen to win with my legendary, and we ran into the what do we run into? We ran into Wolf King. Very good, because this helps my unit survive, and I do believe this almost gets me to 6 undead. Now, usually you want to get to 6 undead after round 21. If you don't, well, you lose very badly. The saving grace is I have been running priest. Running a priest, if you're losing with undead, may be the best way to go. So, again, I'm still running priest, and I'm still trying to survive, but eventually I give up on the priest because I've got 10 tangles, and it's a neutral run, right? So, around this time, I still haven't found all my all my dead. But this is round 26. This really shows how difficult that build can be if you just can't get lucky, if you can't win, if you can't find the right build, everything just goes downhill. So I don't want to show you guys how powerful the build can be when you're running a win streak. You can see the build is very difficult when you're running a losing streak. But again, I have so many tangles, and this is what allows me to keep running undead with priest. So one of the priests that's on the board is going to be Shadow Demon and also Undying, which is also a priest. So I'm running Undead Priest and just try to squeeze my way into the late game in finding my legendaries. Let's keep going. Losing every round and getting zapped by Zeus doesn't feel good. And we keep going. You can see, this really shows you how resilient you can play the game if you run the priest correctly and still try to go with Undead. And yes, guys, how did I find my final undead? It was on the neutral round, round 30. A little sad, but that's just the way the game goes. And I was able to find more legendaries and more legendaries, and I was like, yes, finally we have 6 undead. This is my first power spike. Notice it came much later, but 6 undead halves enemy's HP, which gives you a greater chance in defeating them and also surviving. Spectre is also great in terms of damage. So I was losing to the Knights before massively. Now with a lowered HP and also the burst damage, we have a good chance. We defeat the Luna? Yes, we got her. Perfect. So this shows you the resilience if you play Undead and also Priest collectively and just bear your time, binding your time. And of course, giving the item to my best units, I'm still surviving with Tangos. I'm super resilient. So I'm gonna fast forward a little bit. I keep trying to get my 2-star Undead legendaries, but sometimes this game doesn't give anything. And I'm trying to combine into the best legendaries I can use. Only Knight is great for survivability. We already know the enemies are going to die quickly. If we last a little longer, that is great. Notice I'm not collecting dragons because I haven't found Winter Wyvern. I'm also not collecting the wizards because here the game is in a very deadly mode. If I lose too quickly. So I don't have the affordability to get those good units until much later, until around this time. Nothing too special, we just try to get that unit going. It is the same synergy, same build as the previous first demonstration, but you can see even from behind, the build is very durable. It is surprisingly good if you have the right items on Lich and also on Necrophos. And yes, you can see, we made it to top 4, surprisingly with this build, even without winning the early game, which is what I believe the build needed the most. So 6 undead, 3 humans, and also some mages. Not bad, right? Of course, if you guys want to watch the full replay, I'll have this available for you guys to have a look. And this really helps you to understand how to play the game coming from losing streak. And no longer have a priest. So, let's see what happens in the end. Fast forward a little bit too much. The only Knight protects us, and then Lich goes with the boss, and all my good units are only 1 star. And that is terrible. One of the weakest things because my units are 1 star is that they don't survive long enough, they don't do enough damage. But because we have 6 undead, it is very powerful in the late game if you have the right synergy. And let's fast forward a little bit more. Oh, this player died so fast, I shouldn't skip this. So this is a Zeus Lina Mage. But having the 2-star Spectre was actually really good. His units are so spread out, the Spectre and Lich pretty much one-shotted them within 1 second. That was lovely. And you can see, even though I was extremely unlucky, we're stabilizing. And 2-star Spectre, Lich gets some items, Troll Law, and let's have a look. I'm skipping a little forward, guys, just so I can show you guys quickly. But of course, again, if you want to watch the full replays, make sure you watch the second part of the video with timestamp. I don't have a problem with the Lina Mage. So, let's have a look over here. I do have a problem with 3-star Phantom Assassin though. She is not dying. She is not dying. She is godly. I was like, oh no. Now, I could defeat her if I had my 2 stars. I finally found my Winter Wyvern, but it's a little too late. I also don't have my Vengeful Spirit. So the most costly thing about the losing streak on that build is even though I found my units, I was not enough to get them going. Because I can't get the Dragon synergy easily, I can't get the Harpy synergy easily because I couldn't find the crucial units like Vengeful Spirit, like the the Winter Wyvern for the dragons very early. But this shows you the resilience of this build if you know what you're doing. Okay, time to face the boss. Templar Assassin, Queen of Pain instant cast. I was like, what? So he one-shot half of my team in the first 2 seconds. And that, we can still fight, except the Phantom Assassin just deals way too much damage. We defeated the other mage player, but the Phantom Assassin is something that I don't think I can deal with. I found Kaz, and also I found over here I found the Skywrath, so I finally have my little power boost. We don't have instant cast with dragons, but we do have Harpy. So the plan is for Lich to hit the right targets and Necrophos to take him down. Can we do it? No, we can't, because I swapped my team and he put his Stealth Assassin right in front of me. He's also got Reflection with Phantom Assassin. And yes, it's death by 1,000 cards from Phantom Assassin. She's gonna one-man army my whole team. But we did well though. We did very well on that. I'm already proud. So I keep swapping, trying to get rid of the smoke cloud from these Ricky. I moved correctly, but the Queen of Pain just disables us too much. And half of my units are already dead by the time, the first round hits. Now, it would be okay if he didn't have that 3-star Phantom Assassin with the best items. But unfortunately, I want to show you guys that sometimes that happens. The Phantom Assassin is pretty much unbeatable. So we're gonna try to get some legendaries. I think I got 2-star Necrophos. Yes, finally got my second 2-star Necrophos. Hoping that will be enough. Let's have a look what happens. 2-star Zeus as well. Look at this. Are we making it? Can we defeat the Phantom Assassin? I want to level 12 as well. I really want the 2-star only knight. No, give me one more Zeus. Conquer's not good. And I try to swap my team so he doesn't catch me with a Ricky Smoke Cloud. Guess what happens? We avoided Ricky. Nice. Everything worked perfectly, but can we defeat the Phantasm? Oh gosh. They jumped the moment Lich casted her spells, and I knew it was over. Because when they jumped, they disjoined the spells, and we died on second place. But the second replay shows you how powerful you can play the Undead, just biding your time, playing the priest, and just surviving. And I did not get the extremely lucky, I didn't find the right things. So let me show you guys finally what happens when you play the Undead and you get extremely lucky with some really good find. Now, unfortunately, I happen to have deleted my video and the replays that I was going to show you guys. So just a brief summary of what actually happened. So when I was playing Undead, I had the Panda in early rounds. Notice I have Lucky Fish. Excuse me. So what I was doing is in that game, I had Panda in very early game and I had the Lucky Fish. And then I was able to find a Void Spirit and I put the Lucky Fish on the Void Spirit. And then because I was running Undead, I had a Winter Wyvern, I believe, on the board and it was round 4. And then on round 5, it gave me a Wolf King, the legendary Undead unit. Then I had the win streak all the way to the end game and won the game. And a little unfortunate I didn't save that replay. Must have deleted due to something, I don't know. But yeah, you can see what happens. And you can kind of guess what happens after finding my legendary in round 5 and completing Undead synergy with unstoppable units. So what I was recommending is always consider running a Panda with Lucky Fish. And this may be the best way to go with Undead if you can afford the additional slot. Getting a random Undead unit will help you complete 3 Undead, 6 Undead, or finding your legendaries and making it work. So all the replays will be available for you guys to have a look. This is by far the strongest and also the hardest build in the game. So please do be careful. Took me many tries and also many test runs to make it work. So be aware, it is satisfying to get it going, but it is very punishing if you don't get the right ING because of this.
Ice is nice.
It changes nothing. One way follows another.
Enchanted, I'm sure.
Rage. A wolf in man's clothing. Many thanks to you.
Enchanted, I'm sure.
Master of beasts. Juggernaut stands ready.
Sagan and I stand with you.
I go. Remnant of rage. A wolf in man's clothing. Many thanks to you. Juggernaut stands ready. Flayed twins. I see blood.
Trying to save the world. Again. Appreciate it.
Time for target practice.
Treated green, I go. On my way. I'll not Thanks. Time to shove off. In green, I go. Thanks to you.
The Monkey King.
What can I do in return?
This one's on me.
For the Kazurai. treats.
Summon the demon witch.
What is this? Again?
The time has come for me. Thanks.
service.
Dr. Clinker.
There's a price on all their heads.
Try to outsmart me and you'll just end up smarting.
No grave for you.
With bones and spells.
My spirit returns to flesh.
The dusk is always ready for a fight.
Dr. Clinker.
Shadow Demon. master of beasts.
Enchanted, I'm sure.
Gernot stands ready.
Ice is nice.
Out of sight.
In the service of celebration.
Luke, I am a robot. Yeah, just kidding.
At your service.
King of the desert.
Time to save the world. Again.
Enchanted, I'm sure.
The Veiled Sisters sent me.
When you play with Lena, you tend to get burned.
One's on me.
What is this? A game of some sort?
I ride with the light. Thanks.
Juggernaut stands ready. service.
Time to save the world. Again.
Time to...
Get you! There are none who cannot be mimicked.
Time to show... Step lively now. Your admiral is on board. Who summoned the demon witch? summon the demon witch?
I don't miss.
Your god has arrived. God be with you.
For the Kazurai. For the Kazurai.
Get your rotors running!
My quiver and bow.
Right.